Alright, hey guys, so today's Saturday. I will be posting this on Saturday. We are going to do a head shave today. I have about a day's worth of growth. I haven't shaved my face in about, I think it's been 3 days. Maybe today's day 4. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe growing it out a little bit now that I'm retired and I don't have to go to a job anymore. I'm thinking about growing out the facial hair. I don't know yet. So far, so good. I don't mind it, but I do enjoy shaving, so I might shave it off. But for today's shave, we have MacDuff's Winter Cabin. I got this from Tanner. He sent me this for free, and it's a great, great scent. To me, I get a sweet, almost like a sweet caramel, kind of like a pine, like a sweet caramel pine type of scent. It's a very interesting scent. It reminds me a lot of Christmas Cabin, if you've tried that. I think I do prefer Christmas Cabin a little bit more than I like the Winter Cabin. We are almost done with it. This part is very thin. I've been pushing it all into the center. I don't think I'm going to finish it this shave. It would already been killed if I would have been face shaving the last couple of days, but I haven't been face shaving, like I said. Razor choice, we're going to go with the Karve stainless steel Overlander with the Gillette Nacet, third use. Splash, we got the matching splash. Good amount left in that. For today, we're going to be using, let me shake it out. It's been soaking in some cold water. I am in a dry camping, also known as boondocking spot right now, where I don't have water hookup or sewage hookup or electric hookup, but I have full solar, so I still have electricity. And it's going to be a Trotter with a beautiful T1 Manchurian Badger knot. I really like Trotter's T1 knots. I have two. This one's a little different than the first one. The first one's way more broken in. This one was softer out the gate, and I need to start using it more to break it in. And I love Paul is the owner of Trotter. I love his handles. They're like glass. Like his polish job is probably the best that I've seen. And I have like $400 brushes. There's the coin. I love his coins too. And this pour, it's called Winter Tide. It's like a white silver. And that looks black, but it's actually a dark green that in person you can see it and the light catches it. And it's like a nice, really cool looking green. So on camera it looks black and white, which I think that still looks sexy as fuck, to be honest. But in person, just like all brushes, it looks better in person. But hey, it is what it is. MacDuff's is a very soft base. You can see how easily I can push that. So I don't usually bloom it just because it's so soft. Oh, this is going to be so good. So let's start. We're at 403. And like I said, I don't know. Maybe I'll shave off the whiskers in a couple of days. It definitely makes my soap killing a little bit slower. And I still have, I think, 3 or 4 soaps in my kill pile that I want to kind of destroy. Oh, yeah, I think that might be it. Now let's go a couple more. I am going to use a pre-shave today. You don't need a pre-shave with most soaps nowadays. You definitely don't need one with MacDuff's soap base. But We just lost another hair. Bam. But who cares? But I recently got another PAA cube. It came with, I bought on the BST's a set of SV 70th anniversary. I've been wanting to try that soap for a while. I got the soap and splash and like 4 or 5 other little things for like 45 bucks. Hell of a deal. And one of those things was a black cube. I still have 2 more cubes, so I was using a blue Samhain scented cube. And got this one now, so I put that one away in a Ziploc bag, and I need to kill this one. I love using the PAA cube. It's such a great pre-shave. So all you do is just put a little water on it, and we just spread some on. And again, you know, this is a little overkill to use a pre-shave, but I have it, might as well kill it. And the cubes last forever, that's why I really like them. And I think they look really cool. You know, part of the enjoyment to me out of this hobby is, besides just like intentionality, slowing things down, it's being able to see your collection, your den, you know, being able to see your razors, your soap, your splashes. So the cube, it just looks really good on my shelf over there. And that's going to be my water pump, because again, I don't have running water, so you have to use a pump to push the water from the water tanks to the sink. We're loaded. Here we go. And as always, I'm just going to slowly add more water to it if I need to, which I probably will. And for anybody out there that's looking for, you know, recommendations on brushes, what have you, you know, I have some pretty expensive brushes, and I don't say that it's like showing off. I just say that as what the truth is. I do have some pretty expensive brushes. And I've had some cheap ones too, you know. I've had brushes that only cost me 10 bucks that I've had for like 8 years. But, you know, depending on your budget for a brush, you know, if you only have 100 bucks to spend on a brush, a little bit more, I would go with you know, Trotter's a really good one. Now don't quote me, I want to say they're about 140 now, 150. Paul will make you a custom one if you go to his website, which I believe is just trotterhandcrafts.com. And great guy to work with. Stupid quick at making your brush too. I don't understand how he can make these brushes so quick while working a full-time job and having a family, but he does. Some other really good brush makers that I like that are in that same price range is Ryan at TNZ. Really great guy. Ryan's a phenomenal dude, and he will make you some custom brush handles too. And he has some phenomenal knots. I love his High Mountain White. It's a low backbone, very soft, very luxurious knot. These T1s are more of a medium style backbone with a little gel. Like this one has some gel, but not overly jelly where it's kind of gooey almost. And they are fairly dense, not super dense. Oh yeah, we need more agua. This thing could still take more water. Yeah, I overloaded. Some other good brush makers that are in that price range, you know, 100 to 150, $200 is Chisel and Hound. Makes really good brushes, especially if you like wooden handles. Uh, and the owner's name is Rob. And then there's Grizzly Bay, makes really great resin handles too with knots. I believe his name is John. So I think we're, oh, look at that, another hair, which I don't mind because there's quite a few hairs anyways. Boom. Who else do we have? And that's about it. Those are my go-tos for in the $100 to $200 range. Now, if you want something, so all those people don't hand tie their knots. They get their knots from uh, big supply places. I don't know exactly where, but if I had to guess, probably in China, that are hand tied over there. And they're just simply making those handles and placing them in the handle at the right measurements to make the knot feel good. But the next round up would be you're looking at, you know, 200 to 400, $500, and those you're looking at people that are hand tying their own hair. So they buy hair in bulk and they tie it and place it into that handle. So far, I would probably say my go-to right now for hand tied is Milton over at Turn and Shave is his website. A lot of people abbreviate that with TNS. He makes phenomenal hand-tied brushes, and he offers a low-density option, a medium-density option, and a high-density option, even though his low-density is still just as dense as any other hand-tied brush I've tried. If you really want like a low-density option, you could talk to him, but Varlettes are pretty low in the density and make a phenomenal knot. They're on the higher end though, usually at around $300 to $500, depending on what you get and what you want. His custom list doesn't open very often either, and I don't think he does drops that often either. Next is Declaration Grooming, and I like Declaration Grooming brushes quite a bit. He has really fantastic pores. Good first pass. Get some water up here, spread out some of that dried up. Oh, I missed a patch right there. And I think this is going to be a 3-pass, just because, why not? But yeah, Declaration Grooming makes some good ones. His are $400 each. He doesn't do customs, so he just does drops. He does a drop. Hopefully you get in before somebody else buys one, and that's how he does it. Usually what I tell people is, you know, start somewhere like a Trotter or a Grizzly Bay or a Chisel Hound to see what you think of it, and then go for something like a Turn and Shave, Declaration Grooming, especially if you see one that you like, the looks of it, the handle, on the BSTs for a discounted price, you know, used. And then you could kind of tell that, you know, kind of what your preference is going to be. You know, do you like them dense? Do you like it not as dense? Because each artisan is going to have kind of their style. But yeah, that's my little brush rant. I'm no expert. I'm just the idiot that spent quite a bit of money buying every kind of brush that I could, that I read about that was supposed to be good. I wanted to buy it to try it because I was that guy that was like, hey, if I can get them all and try them all, well, then I can help other people figure out what they might enjoy. Because when I was looking at buying brushes at first, there really wasn't. So this path I'm going to go kind of across the grain. There really wasn't a whole lot of information out there. There was some pretty decent information that was outdated and old. Um, yeah, so that's kind of my thing. That's kind of why I'm enjoying doing this channel. You know, I don't do it to try to gain followers or to try to monetize. You know, I don't need the income. I do it to help people. Because one thing that a lot of people won't admit or will never tell you is once you monetize anything, whether it's your website, whether it's your social media platform, whether it's, you know, you're trying to promote a book that you wrote, you know, whatever it may be, now you can't be honest. Most of the time, you're not going to be honest. You can't be truthful because you have to please the crowd, right? So you can't do the interesting, fun things, try new things, and you can't give your honest opinion because you have to please the audience that you're targeting. Because you need that audience, because you need either their followers, so you can get paid for ads. You know, there's a lot of ways you can monetize that people don't understand, but you get paid per clicks, or you get paid for traffic, and you get ads, right? Like that's why on YouTube you'll see ads and stuff on people's channels. They get paid for that. It's the same thing on websites. You ever notice on websites that you'll start getting ad pop-ups and stuff like that? That's the reason. They monetize their site and they get paid either directly from that ad if it's onto their website in a certain format, or they're getting paid by a third-party website just for clicks. And for me, I just rather be honest. And that's the cool thing about what I have going on for me is that this last week was my first full week of being retired early at 38. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, man, like it doesn't make sense for me to hustle anymore and try to earn income, even though I could, you know, monetize. If you look at my stuff, you can see that I have a financial blog. I could monetize that and get more traffic, but for what purpose, you know? A little extra money? Like, I already have so much money that I probably will never be able to spend it all before I die. And I don't say that as somebody that thinks he's better than anybody or as a brag, because it's not a brag. Like, it's just honestly the truth. I have 2 or 3 times what I spend in a year in passive income. And then I have a bunch of investments and other stuff. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to spend all that money. Third pass, kind of a cleanup pass slash against the grain on some parts. Top of my head, I usually don't go against the grain just because it is a little bit more sensitive. And because I do have hair up there, it is a little harder to go against than, say, you know, some people that shave their heads that don't have hair up there. It's going to be a lot smoother, a lot easier to go against the grain. But honestly, I wasn't sure what to think of this first week. But now, it was better than I could have ever imagined. Like, it is just so cool and relaxing not having to go to work. It's like you're on vacation every single day, right? Like, we all live for the weekend so we can sleep in, or we live for that 2 weeks a year that you go on vacation, or 30 days, whatever it may be. And now, like, I get to do that every day. Like, it's so cool that, like, now instead of having to set like an alarm clock and get up and rush to work, I just let myself naturally get up in the mornings, which I'm usually up by 6 or 7 naturally. But this last week, didn't set an alarm clock once. And then from there, I got to spend my day how I wanted to, which for me, it was getting outdoors more and spending time with my Great Danes. And then getting a little workout in a little bit after lunchtime, around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I get more time to cook now, so like instead of having like rush cook on the weekend for meal prepping, or buying something to go when you're out for lunch at work, now I just cook my meals during the day. When everybody's at work, I'm going to the grocery store, so there's like no lines, there's parking spots everywhere. This retiring early thing is phenomenal. Wow, that's nice. Great residual slickness. Like right now, it's like glass when I'm doing this. Man, that's good. Look at this. Look how much lather I still have. I'm gonna clean that later, but tons of lather. I overloaded. Ring of Death's getting a little bigger. Aftershave splash. Aftershave splash have been kind of back and forth. I really keep loving the idea of not getting matching aftershave splashes anymore. Just getting one that I really like and get it unscented so it goes with everything. Because that would save me a lot of money, and more importantly, it would save me a lot of room back there on my shelf. Like right now, I have enough room if I wanted to add a couple more soaps, even though I'm trying not to right now. But I don't have any more space for the aftershave splash because I stack up the soaps and then I put the aftershave in front of the soaps. And yeah, it's too close to the edge of the shelf to where I don't like that idea, especially with my dogs. Like they could knock one of those over. And I don't know. I thought about maybe putting like some kind of bungee cord style thing up just so it doesn't get knocked over. But then I don't know if that would look nice anymore. We'll see. But yeah, that is my literal rant on for today. I enjoyed this head shave. I'm glad you guys could come along with it. Yeah, so let's recap. So for today, we used a Trotter Wintertide T1 Manchurian. Highly recommend getting a Trotter. We used Winter Cabin for MacDuff's, matching splash, and we used the Karve stainless steel Overlander. And for our pre-shave, we used the PAA Cube. Check you guys on the next shave, and hopefully you guys all have a great weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. As a veteran myself, I will say that you should enjoy it. Have a happy Memorial Day. Do whatever you can and enjoy with your friends, family, and loved ones. And I'll catch you guys later.